And we have now entered September, so the season is winding down to an end here. The September call-ups are with the big league club, and our San Francisco Giants are sitting at 71 and 77 on the season. They're pretty much out of it. They would have to have an absolute miracle to make the playoffs, which is not what we want to happen anyways, so it's pretty much they're not making the playoffs. One very interesting story out of the Giants this year, though, has been Peter Mooney. He did not play the entire year, but he has played enough to earn himself at the top of the Rookie of the Year race. Joey Bart is among those as well in third, but Peter Mooney has been far and away the best rookie this season as a 30-year-old rookie. Here in San Fran, the Giants are playing host to an NL West foe in the Colorado Rockies, as the Rockies are sending out John Gray, the right-hander. This will be his 29th start of the season, and he'll be opposed by the lefty from Barnegat, New Jersey, making his 8th start of the 2021 campaign. And take a look at the Giants lineup 1-2-9 as well. We'll start things off top half of the first inning. Garrett Hampson at the plate leading things off, chops one over to first base. Peterson is slow fielding it, and the speedy Hampson has an infield single. So he's on first. After that, Owings hits a ground ball over to third, and Gilberto Fuentes, showing off some defense, makes the sliding grab and then fires over a bit high to first base, but he does get the runner. But unfortunately, Nolan Arenado would then go right up the gut, the next batter, and drive in the fleet-footed Garrett Hampson from second base. After that, Fuentes is making another diving play as he turns it into a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. Fuentes showing out some improved defense. And now on the bottom half of the second, Aaron Altair, first pitch he sees, he's launching it into those left field seats. A solo shot for Aaron Altair. His 21st of the season ties this game up at 1. We move on to the top of the fourth now. Trevor Story goes down looking, locked up on the curveball on the outside half. Next batter up was Charlie Blackmon, who whiffs through a curveball that goes down and away. So 2 down in the inning. Next batter up, David Dahl. He's whiffing through a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. As Jay Groom strikes at the side, we move on to the top of the fifth now, where Dom Nunez would draw a walk to lead things off. Next batter up was the leadoff man, or a couple batters later now with 2 outs. It's the leadoff man, Garrett Hampson, who dribbles one down the third baseline. Peterson holds the runner at second. It's now first and second with 2 outs. Brings up Owings, who would also draw himself a walk. So it's bases juice that would end Jay Groom's day, as the Giants bring on the right-handed specialist in Chaz Rowe to face the big right-handed bat of Nolan Arenado, and he does his job. Gets him to go down swinging, escapes the jam. The game is still tied at 1. On to the top of the sixth now, where Trevor Story goes down to the hands of Rowe's slider, and then a bunch of lefties come up, so Brandon Finnegan enters the game. First one up, Blackmon whiffs through the slider. Next batter up would be David Dahl, and he is going to whiff through the fastball as Finnegan strikes out 2, and we move on to the bottom half of the frame now, where Kyle Seager came on to pinch hit for the Giants with 1 out. Whiffs through strike 3, but it gets away from Nunez, and then he rushes to it. His throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and Seager's going to be on first base on the drop third strike. And then Gilberto Fuentes comes to the plate, hits a ball into the left center field gap. Seager, who is not the fastest guy, is going to score all the way from first base, and Fuentes has himself a RBI triple as he just barely slides to avoid the tag. Giants take a 2-0 lead, now a 2-1 lead, now a 3-1 lead after Posey's RBI single. That would be the end of Gray's day as Castellani then comes out of the bullpen for the Rockies, and a pitch would then get away from Nunez again, as the runner Posey is able to move up on the wild pitch, and then Peter Mooney sends the ball out to left center field. The left fielder looks like he has a chance at it. He gives it a leap, cannot make the grab, and Mooney has himself an RBI ground rule double. 4-1 is the score now. Peterson hits a ground ball over to first. It's muffed by the first baseman, and Peterson legs it out for an infield single. So runners on the corners, 2 outs. Peterson then goes down and swipes second base. Jock Peterson, with a D, would then be intentionally walked, so it's bases loaded for Aaron Altair. He's going into left center field. That's over the glove of Story. That'll score 2 runs, and it is now a 6-1 lead for the Giants. So second and third, 2 outs still, with Tetsudo Yamada gives a charge to one into left field, and that's going to be in the seats. A 3-run shot off the bat of Tetsuya Yamada. His 21st homer of the season makes it a 9-1 Giants lead, and they break this one open in the 6th inning. Carson Fulmer came on for the 7th. He would walk the first batter he faces, but then he would be dominant for the rest. Misses his spot, but still gets Desmond locked up on the curveball there for strike 3. Then for the second out, it would the pitcher Castellani looking at the curveball. After that, it's back to the top of the order. Hampson's also looking at the curveball. Strikes out 3 in the inning. He would then pitch the rest of the game, take into the 9th as he gets a line drive that Shane Peterson showing off some hops over at first base as he makes the snag. And then for the final out of the ball game, it would be a pop-up to Posey in foul territory as the Giants easily win this game over their NL West foe in the Colorado Rockies by a score of 9-1 here in San Fran, thanks to an absolute monster of a bottom half of the 6th inning where they scored 8 runs. Aaron Altair does get player of the game honors. He was 3 for 4 on the day. He had a solo shot as well as a 2 RBI double. Tetsuya Yamada's only hit of the day was a 3-run shot. Peter Mooney went 2 for 4 as the 5'6" hit machine continues to hit in the big leagues. Gilberto Fuentes is now 2. He was 2 for 5 on the day in this 9-1 victory for San Fran. It's now time for Game 162 as the Giants are going to be ending their season against the Chicago Cubs here in San Francisco. Colin McHugh making the start for the Cubbies. This will be his 29th start of the season, and opposing him will be the former Cubs farmhand in Braylon Marquez, making his 13th start of the 2021 campaign to close out the year for the Giants. Take a look at their lineup 1-2-9, and then of course the opposing Cubs lineup as well. We'll start things off top half of the 1st inning where Chris Bryant comes up with 2 outs, and he absolutely hits the snot out of a ball into the left field seats. A long solo home run for Chris Bryant makes it a 1-0 Cubs lead, his 37th on the season. We take it now to the bottom half of the 1st where Avellino comes to the plate, hits the ball over the head of the second baseman, Odor, and that's going to be a single for Avellino. He's got some fleet feet, and he shows those off as he goes and swipes second base, gets himself into scoring position, and then Posey would drive him in as he's going to pull a ball down the left field line that'll get up against the wall. And Avellino easily scores from second. Posey has himself an RBI double. It's now a 1-1 tie game. Bottom of the 2nd now as Joey Bart is going to give the Giants a lead as he continues to swing the hot shillelagh here to end the season, as that's going to be a solo shot, 2-1 lead for the Giants now. Later on in the inning, Elliot Ramos comes to the plate. He is going to smack a ball into the left center field gap that'll get up against the wall, and Ramos has some fleet feet, so he's able to get into second base easily with a double. Then it brings up Avellino, who draws himself a walk, so it's 1st and 2nd for the Giants. That would bring up Buster Posey yet again with runner in scoring position, and he delivers yet again. The runner from second scores, and it's now a 3-1 lead for the Giants. Top half of the 4th now as Chris Bryant comes to the plate, and he continues to hit well off of Braylon Marquez. That's going to be into the right center field gap, usually triples alley, but Altair gets to it quick enough to hold him to a double. So it's a 3-1 game, runner on second. Kyle Schwarber then whiffs through the 96-mile-an-hour fastball for out number 1. After that, it's Ian Happ going down, swinging on the cutter. And then for the 3rd out of the inning, it is Rougned Odor whiffing through the 4-seamer as Marquez strikes out 3 in the inning after allowing the double to Chris Bryant. We move on to the bottom of the 4th now where Brandon Crawford draws himself a walk, so he'll take his base, and then Avellino continues to play well on the day. He hits a ball into right center field. That's going to get into triples alley, and Avellino, he's got that speed, so he's able to turn it into a triple. That's going to be an RBI triple. 4-1 Giants is the lead. Posey could not drive in Avellino as he aligns out to Baez over at shortstop. Alex Lang would then come on for the Cubs in the bottom half of the 5th inning, facing Aaron Altair as he pokes one through the left side of the infield for a base knock. He'll take his base over on first, and that would bring up Joey Bart, who continues to swing the hot bat. This one looks like it could get out, but it's just going to hit the bottom of the wall in left field. Altair's going to score from first base. It's an RBI double for Joey Bart, and it makes it a 5-1 lead for the Giants. Top of the 6th now, Chris Bryant. He's got a solo home run, a double, and now another solo home run, as it makes it a 5-2 lead for the Giants. 2 runs on the day, both came off the bat of Chris Bryant's solo shots. Colin Ray then would come in the game in the bottom of the 7th, stay on for a second inning of work in the 8th, and with 1 out, he would give up a double here to Elliot Ramos. That is his 2nd double of the day. So he's in scoring position. That would bring up Ryan Schimpf as he comes on to pinch hit. Ray wants no part of pitching to him. A 4-pitch walk to Schimpf. Might as well have just intentionally walked him. So it's 1st and 2nd. Avellino then grounds out to 3rd base, tags the lead runner, fire over to 1st from Bryant, and Avellino beats it out, so reaches on a fielder's choice. Posey then flies 1 out to right field. Zagunis playing right on the day, makes the leaping grab. What a play by Mark Zagunis to keep the score where it is. Reyes Maranta then came on in the top half of the 9th looking for the save, and he would do just that. Gets a pop-up to the infield. Avellino playing 3rd on the day, makes the snag, and that is going to be a victory for the Giants. Yet again, a 5-2 win for San Francisco over the Cubs here in Game 162, as that is how they end their 2021 campaign. Avellino gets Player of the Game honors. He was 3 for 4 on the day while rocking a Cubs uni in the post-game screen. He had a triple and 2 singles on the day. He also walked as well. Joey Bart was 2 for 4 with a double and a home run. Elliot Ramos had 2 doubles, and Buster Posey drove in 2 runs on a double and a single. While Braylon Marquez gets the win against his former team, or at least his former organization in the Cubs, as he went 6 innings strong and struck out 6 on the day, only gave up 2 runs, both of which were solo shots to the big bat of Chris Bryant. And with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of the San Francisco Giants franchise, and that's also going to wrap things up for the 2021 season, as the next episode you will see will be the end of season stats, the off season, and then we'll be moving on into the 2022 season. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I am saying, Boardman gets paid.